In this Forex video journal, I'm going to review price action for USDCAD for all of last week. The purpose of doing this video journal and reviewing price action this way is to help myself become more familiar with reading price action. Um, it's one thing to say that I should be more patient, I should be more focused, I should be more disciplined, which are all good things and good things to say, but it's another thing to do it, live it, and execute it. And I'm hoping by reviewing what has happened, it could prepare me um, for what may happen, increase my probability of executing better trades. So looking at what happened this past week of trading, looking here on the 4-hour chart, and what I'll do is just because it's this particular 4-hour chart, I'm going to look at the previous week as well. And if I if I was uh, if I had to draw in areas of support and resistance, um, then I've got some done already with the big red with the red horizontal lines. And that goes back to the high here in September, 105.58, and even further up to the high here in July around 106. And to the low side, I've got 104.11, which was the low from last week and the previous week after, before that. And then I've got down here 102.81, which was the level for a good part of September and October. So where would price uh, what did price actually do? It oscillated or moved in between this 104.97 area and the 104.11 area, and the bias is to the upside. All of October and the end of September there, middle of September, came down, found a low, found a support, and moved price up. So in the immediate, if price was going to continue its way up, it would need to break 104.97. Um, so therefore, I could say 104.97 is a resistance, and be careful with taking any kind of long trades in the region. If I was to draw in a resistance region, it'd be something like that. And the reason I choose those levels as I did is because I'm going from this high to the bodies here and then extend it across. Um, and and I can see that this week price was in that region quite a bit, but it didn't break above it. So therefore, um, it's not quite ready to get up there yet. Now on the support side, you can see last week the previous week price found a low here and then moved up. And I could draw in um, a support region like that, and then again in this support area, I should condition myself to look at this chart as it is right now, with no indicators and nothing like that, but just simply reading price action, finding the areas of resistance, finding the areas of support, and then know not to take in the area of resistance, know not to take long trades until it gets broken through. And in the area of support, know not to take short trades until it's broken through. So an example of that would be right here. Here's a resistant point, and as price is coming into the resistance point, um, until it gets broken through, which it did here, I don't take any long trades. Uh, in this area, let me just highlight this a little bit more. So here we go. So this was a resistance area here. Um, Wrong one. This was a do that and So this was an identified resistance area here, and as price got up to it, I shouldn't be taking long trades until it gets broken, and it got broken on this bar here. And when it does that, I can look to take a long trade, and expect that this resistance area is no longer uh, valid, which is exactly what happened. Now, when I look at that same scenario here, up here, clearly it hasn't broke, no close above the 104.97 area, so it's not ready to move its way up. And if it's not ready to move its way up, then where will it go? It's going to come back down, which is what it did. And where likely will that come down to? Um, in this region here that I identified earlier. And now that the week is complete, I can now extend it and take it to about November 19th, around there, and then look for price to potentially come into this region. Um, and what I've got to be careful is when it gets into that region, not to get excited or anything like that and take short trades until it breaks through it and closes below it. And if it does that, then look for it to go further down like it did up here. And the interim, same idea here. Couldn't wait for it to break, which it did, and then look to take trades to the upside. So that's the 4-hour chart. What happened last week? It opened up here at around 104.74 and moved um, sideways, in not very um, determined direction. Then it moved up into the region of resistance. I came back down, moved back into the region of resistance. Couldn't close, went well above it, shot down, and what did it do? This particular bar right here, it had a big pin bar, which says the price came up into this area, but as soon as it came into this region, sellers overpowered the buyers and moved price down. Then now this is what I need to do. This is patience, focus, and discipline in real time. Is I need to watch this bar and see that it unfolded, and it's only 4 hours. This is a 4-hour bar. It started at 9 o'clock and it closed at 12:59. Um, and at the end of those 4 hours, what I need to do is look at the bar and say, what happened here? What happened here was price moved up this way, sellers came in, buyers were non-existent because I know this because price came all the way back down and it closed. Um, it's an engulfing bar. It engulfed this previous bar here, the 5 a.m. bar. The high was above the 5 a.m. bar, the low was below the 5 a.m. bar, and it closed below the low of the 5 a.m. bar. So this has got to tell me that look for trades to the short size. I'm now in the resistance region, and I have an engulfing bear bar, and I've got a bar that went way up here and did what it did and moved sharply back down, closed below the previous bar's low. Then the following bar, it too left itself with a pin bar and closed uh, below the low of the 9 a.m. bar. Um, so now I'm in a resistance region. So if I'm in a resistance region, until that resistance is taken out, I cannot be thinking long trades. I've got a pin bar, an engulfing bar that wipes out the previous bar. I've got a following pin bar that wipes out the low of the previous bar, closes below it. I've got a lot of things pointing to the downside. What do I got to think now? That look for two things. Where can I get in and go short? And where likely is this market going to go? Well, clearly we know that if it's going to go up, it has to come and break this resistance, get above it, close above it, and then it'll move up. And but to if it doesn't do that, which we have more evidence, I have more evidence suggesting this price is going to move down, then instead of thinking of what I need to do to take a long trade or where entries and exits would be on a long trade, I need to look at where is this price going. And if I can understand where it's going, then that'll help me um, take higher probability trades. So if we've got all this rejection up here in this resistance zone, these types of individual candles, then and no real momentum to the upside, then where does price will likely go? Then it's likely going to come into this previous area of support, identified support. And this is not just me looking at this market. This is the everyone in the market is seeing these levels. Um, and they're all thinking that where would the buyers be? The buyers are not stepping in. They're not coming in and buying at a significant level that's overtaking the bears. They're probably all hands off their mouse, off of their screen, just waiting for price to get into this support area, and then they may consider getting into the market and taking long trades. So when the market opens up on Sunday and into Monday, um, I wouldn't be surprised if uh, price does come into this area before any kind of slowdown or indication that this thing might go up and support would hold and buyers would come in. So I expect to see price come into this blue box. If it doesn't, then chances are it's just going to rocket right back up. Not much sideways movement or anything. I probably would expect right back into the blue box. So that's what I saw. That's what happens, and this is what I need to do. I just did this analysis in 12 minutes, and each of these bars is 4 hours long. So there, I have enough time to sit and think and look at the bars and say what happened and what didn't happen. And clearly, what didn't happen is we couldn't break the resistance. And if you cannot break the resistance, it's going to go in the opposite direction to support. Now, that's again another easy thing. I said that in about 30 seconds, but all of this occurred in 8 4-hour bars. That's 32 hours of trading and and being patient. So in that 32 hours, I need to exercise, demonstrate this patience that I'm talking about, and I can become more patient and I can become more disciplined if I can read the things on here and clearly what are the things I'm seeing. There's a identified resistance area right here. Price came up to it and moved sharply well back down. Then it came back up to it and didn't break through it. Then came back to it, didn't break through it, came down a little bit lower. Came back to it and traded well above it. And the couldn't have any kind of sustained momentum to keep price up there. Buyers just couldn't come in and take out the sellers. The sellers were way stronger, and this 1 4 hour bar was an engulfing bar with a pin bar in the resistance region. Go ahead, take a shot, and take a short trade, and see that okay, the next bar after that, or the next several bars after that, had no kind of momentum to the upside, and that if it's not going to turn around and go up, then it's going to head down and it's going to go down to an area of support. And That's how it played out. But if I had taken a short and I was wrong, I also have to. I've been trading for a long time now, and I have had losses, but the losses are going to be there, and I'm never going to avoid them. But if I do things the right way and I see the picture unfolding, this pattern repeats itself over and over and over and over and over, then I'm gonna have more winners than losers. And it's okay to have losing trades as long as you have winning trades and the winning trades outnumber the losing trades. I'm not going to be perfect every time, but then that's where it comes in with the discipline. You say, okay, I'm going to take this trade. I see what's happened here. I think this will continue to happen. But if I'm wrong, this is where I'm getting out and I'm going to accept the loss. And if I can accept that, I think I could probably be a better trader. I'll leave it at that, and I may do another video looking at this price action for the week on the lower time frames to see to where I could have get confirmation for entries to take advantage of these price movements, and or to a better point, to avoid taking bad trades.